The ballpoint pen.
Ballpoint pens will be the ruin of education in our country. Students use these devices and then throw them away. The American virtues of thrift and frugality are being discarded. Business and banks will never allow such expensive luxuries,
Said the federal teacher in 1950. It turns out that the ballpoint pen has become commonplace in developed countries around the world. It is fast and easy to use. Most brands and varieties are inexpensive. To some, a pen in hand is an inspiration to creativity. Prior to the invention of mobile computerized devices, people would reach for a ballpoint pen to make lists, jot down thoughts, write stories, complete work-related tasks, and so much more. Before the ballpoint pen, people used quills, ink pots, and burnt sticks in the sand as writing utensils. The invention of the ballpoint pen made writing tasks easier and faster. It was efficient and portable. Created from frustration and impatience, the humble ballpoint pen is a technology that has made significant impact on writing in the modern world. Popular Mechanics ranks it number 54 in the 101 gadgets that changed the world. The history of the ballpoint pen can be traced back to 1888, when a leather tanner, John Loud, patented a rollerball tipped marker. John Loud attempted to make a writing utensil to mark on his leather products. His thick ink marker had worked well for his leather-making purposes, but failed when others tried to use his creation for other various uses. The ink was just too thick. This version of the ballpoint pen never reached production. Over the next 30 years, 350 patents for ballpoint pens were issued, with little success. The ink was either too thick or too thin, the rollerball would leak, the pen had to be held perfectly upright. It was not until the Biro brothers came along that a successful ballpoint pen was produced. In 1935, Laszlo Biro of Budapest was a newspaperman editing a small newspaper. While editing his newspaper, Biro was continuously frustrated with the inefficient and ineffective fountain pen. It was messy, slow, and often tore holes through the newsprint. He teamed up with his chemist brother to design a better product to get the job done. He showcased his invention at the Budapest International Fair and patented his design, although it still wasn't perfect. As World War II broke out in Europe, the Biro brothers fled to Argentina, where they had previously vacationed. In 1943, with the help of several investors, the Biros set up a manufacturing plant to produce their new invention. With changes and improvements to the ink flow and design, the Biro's ballpoint pen sold well throughout Argentina. Unfortunately, before the Biro pen could catch on globally, the brothers ran out of money. Although Laszlo was not the first inventor of the ballpoint pen, he goes down in history as the successful inventor of a working design of the ballpoint pen, which is now universally accepted. American pilots who had visited Argentina during the war liked the Biro ballpoint pen. The pen was easy to use while in flight, without the need to refill ink. The American pilots, they were not the only one to discover the Argentinian Biro. Businessman Milton Reynolds also saw the potential of the product. The ease of use wasn't what ultimately drew Reynolds to the pen. He instead saw the pen as a money-making venture. He used a prototype of the Biro pen to create his own version. He called the first American pen the Reynolds Rocket, and it sold for a very expensive $12.50 at Gimbel's in 1945. Reynolds was not alone, as several other companies began cashing in on the new technology. Each company claimed that their ballpoint pen was the best, the smoothest writer, the most reliable, and could write through 10 carbon copies. Reynolds even claimed that his pen could write underwater. As each company pushed their product, the claims, however, were short-lived. The pen still had problems, and its popularity began to decline. Prices decreased, and the public lost trust in the flawed product. American Patrick Frawley and Marcel Biche of France were next to take up the challenge of perfecting the ballpoint pen. They teamed up with a chemist and worked to improve the ink and working model. They introduced the first retractable ballpoint tip with ink that didn't smear on while writing. Combined with a bold and unique advertising campaign where an actor barged into an executive's office and uses the pen to write all over the executive's white shirt, a new product was born. The Papermate ballpoint pen was a success. Soon after the creation of the Papermate pen, Marcel Biche was spurred to create an even better and cheaper product. Biche approached the Biro brothers and made an offer to purchase their patent. In 1952, after Biche studied the design and construction of the Biro pen, he introduced his own pen in France, calling it the Ballpoint Bic. Biche introduced his pen to the masses as an inexpensive, reliable, smudge-proof, non-leaking ballpoint pen.
The pen was easier, faster, and cleaner for everyone: pilots, businessmen, students. Writing while navigating a plane became possible. Writing anywhere was possible. Writing notes effortlessly was possible. No dripping, no smudging, no refilling, just writing. Just writing that could take place wherever and whenever it was needed. As the ballpoint pen was more portable than its predecessors, writing simply became easier and more efficient for everyone. Anyone could pick up a ballpoint pen. From a plane, a pocket, a desk, a car, to instantly write whatever information they needed. But what about the pencil? Isn't it just as good? No. 83% of people use ballpoint pens daily, says Kaiser in 2012. Pencils require sharpening. They're not seen as professional. You can write on a variety of surfaces with a pen, and now they come in any color imaginable. The ink of a ballpoint pen is permanent. Those penned notes have staying power. With a pen, they are seen as more important than that of the lowly pencil. Pens have power. They are a symbol of success. The ballpoint pens were cheap to make, disposable, and could be mass-produced. The demand for the new technology in writing finally took off. In 1961, the ballpoint pen was officially recognized and authorized for use in schools in British Columbia. But ballpoint pens were not always seen as a wonderful new technical invention. The Journal of the National Association of Teachers in 1907 stated, "Students today demand too much upon ink. They don't know how to use a penknife to sharpen a pencil. Pen and ink will never replace the pencil." The Rural American Teacher in 1929 said, "Students today depend upon store-bought ink. They don't know how to make their own. When they run out of ink, they will be unable to write words or ciphers until the next trip to the settlement." This is a sad commentary on modern education. After some time, the ballpoint pen was seen as a positive venture, increasing literacy in schools. Ballpoint pens are commonplace in any and every setting. The ballpoint pen lets us write freely and easily. The ballpoint pen is inspiring to write with. Even now, I like to get a new pen in my hand to jot down some notes.